What's up, everybody? Jack here with devslopes.com, coming to you from the Southern Command Center. Today we're going to continue building our iOS application, client application for our API that we built in the course. Now, in the last video, we created this login VC nib file, and we loaded it up in code. Now we need to move on, and we need to add an new food truck view controller. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to drag a new view controller out here on the screen. And I'm going to move it down a little bit. And then I'm going to go up here to the main VC. And I'm going to control drag from the file owner down to the file owner on this one. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to create a new file here under controller. It's going to be a Cocoa Touch class. And it's a view controller. Actually, we're going to call it addTruck VC. And hit next, and we'll create that. Alright, we're going to go back to our main storyboard, and I'm going to select this view controller and go to the identity inspector, and we're going to change the class to addTruck VC. Now then, I can come up here and control drag from there to there, and we're going to create a manual segue, a show segue. Alright, now that we've got that segue, I'm going to click on it, and we're going to name it. We need to give it an identifier, and it's going to be show addTruck VC is going to be the identifier for that segue. Alright, so if you go back and you remember in our main VC controller or controller file here, Swift file, you'll remember when we tap the add button, if we're authenticated, then we'll perform a segue to this identifier here, which is our show our addTruck VC. Sorry. So that's what we need. Now we just need to build out our UI. And we're basically going to kind of build it the way we did our main VC. First, we need a UI view. And I'm going to drag that up here in the corner. And we're going to pin it left, top, right, and we're going to give it a height of 65. All right. Then I'm also going to change the background color to this maroon color that Evan gave me. And then, let's see, we need a label. And we need to put that right here towards the bottom in the center. And I'm just going to put add new truck. And we're going to make it a white color. And we're going to change the font to a custom font, medium, and we're going to bump it up some, probably to 24-ish. Then I'm going to move this around. Alright, we're going to center that up there. Then I'm going to pin it. I'm going to give it a height and a width and pin it to the bottom. And then I'm going to pin it horizontally in container. So that should take care of that. Now then, we made the decision in the last one to go ahead and use buttons for this. So I'm going to drag a button out here and put it right there. We'll get rid of that, and we're going to choose an image, which is going to be the back arrow. Now that's pretty big. We don't need it that big. So let me shrink it down some. That's not too bad. So let's pin that and we'll see what the size is. It's 12 by 25. Let's try that. And then we're also going to pin it 15 from the left and 8 from the bottom. And then I'm going to update my views here. Okay, so we've got our button there. All right. So now we need some text fields. And we're going to need 5 of them. So I'm just going to slap some text fields on here. Just something like that. Make them just a hair smaller. And then I'm going to hold down Option and drag these down until I have 5 of them. All right. Okay, so for this one, I am going to control drag up here to this view and let go. And we're going to choose vertical spacing. And then I'm going to pin it. I'm going to give it a width and a height. And then I'm going to pin it horizontally in container. All right. So now then from each one of these, I can control drag up, and I can hold down shift and do vertical spacing, centered horizontally, and add constraints. And I'm going to do that for each one of these. So vertical, center horizontally, vertical, center horizontally, and same thing here, vertical, center horizontally, and then add constraints. Now then, I'm going to select these right here, and I'm going to give them a width and a height. So that takes care of all those. Now on this first one, for the placeholder text, I'm just going to put new food truck name. And for the second one, it's going to be food type. The next one is going to be average cost. And then in parentheses, I'm going to put example 7.99. And for this one, this is going to be latitude. And I'm also going to put in, or I'll just put decimal degrees. This can't be in degrees, minutes, and seconds. It's got to be decimal degrees. So then we're going to put longitude, decimal degrees. All right. And now we need 2 buttons. So I'm going to drag a button over here. And I'm going to hold down Option and drag a copy over here. And I'm going to slap those into a stack view. And I'm going to put about 150 between them. It's not looking too bad. And so this one over here is going to be add new food truck. And then this one over here is going to be cancel. And actually, since this one's long, I need to adjust that. I need to click on the stack view again. Let's try 100. And then we can center this up. All right, and I'm going to pin it horizontally in container. Let's see, I don't know if that looks good. So if we feel equally, let's bump this down some and just see what it looks like. So let's try that and center it up here again. All right, so let's leave it. Actually, let me change the text on this one. We're just going to say add new truck. We know what we're dealing with here with this app. So let's, we've got it pinned horizontally. So let's control drag up to here and we'll give it some vertical spacing. Now let's update our frames. That looks pretty good. And we've got plenty of space down here so that we don't have to do any weird things when the keyboard appears and move our view up or anything like that. Okay. So I think we're okay there now. So for our back button, let's go to our code now. So I need to get rid of some of this stuff. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to do a back button tapped here. So we need an IB action. Sender is a UI button. And then if we do that, all we need to do is say underscore equals navigation controller, because we embedded a navigation controller, dot pop view controller animated true. So that's all we've got to do there. Now let's go back here and wire that up real quick. So I'm going to wire that to my back button, touch up inside. Alright, now if we run this, we should be able to get to this view controller and hit the back button to go back. So let's just try it and see what it looks like. So remember, we're already authenticated. Here shortly, when we start testing things, I'll delete the app off the simulator, so we'll have to log back in. So we've got our view here. Now we're already authenticated, so if I hit the plus button, it ought to take us right to the add new food truck view controller. And it does. And this view controller, it's not the best looking thing I've ever seen, but it's not too bad. It'll do for what we need. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the back button. It takes us back. So we're looking good there. Now we just need to wire up all this other stuff. So let's continue on. Alright, so let's go ahead and stop this and come back to our controller here. So let's go into here. We need a bunch of IB outlets. And we need a back, let's see, we don't need a back button. We took care of that with an actual button. So we need a name field, which is a UI text field. We need a food type field, which is also a UI text field. We need an average cost field. We need a lat field. And we need a long field. Okay, so I think that takes care of our outlets. So, we need another IB action for our add button. And sender is a UI button. Alright, and then we're also going to need one for a cancel button. Alright. So we got our add button, cancel button. So on cancel, I think I'm going to create a function here because we're going to be calling pop view controller from a couple of places here. Like right here, and then we also need to call it from this cancel. So I'm just going to create a function real quick. It's not an IB action, it's just a regular function. And I'm just going to call it dismiss view controller. And then we'll grab the main thread to do this. Operation queue dot main dot add operation. and we'll just say underscore equals self dot navigation controller dot pop view controller animated true. All right, and then here we can replace this with just dismiss view controller, and for the cancel button we can dismiss view controller, and that takes care of that. Now we need another show alert function in here because we might need to show an alert. So let me bump this up and give it a little space here. And we're going to have just func show alert. And it's going to be real similar to the way it was in the other one, if not identical. Alright. So we'll say let alert controller equals UI alert controller. And title is title, message is message, and the controller style is just dot alert. Alright, and then we need to say let OK action equal UI alert action. And title is just going to be OK. Style is just going to be dot default. Handler is nil. Alright, and then we need to add the action. So we'll say alert controller dot add action and then OK action. And then at that point we just need to present view controller. No, present. There we go. And then the view controller to present is alert controller, animated true, completion nil. Okay. So that takes care of that. Now the main meat that we need to get to is in our add button tapped up here. So we need to guard against a bunch of things, number one. So we're going to say guard let name equal name field dot text, and name field dot text is not equal to an empty string. Else, we're going to show alert, and we're just going to say error, and a message, please enter a name. And then we're going to return. All right, so we're pretty much going to do the same thing for all of those text fields. So we come here, and we need to guard let food type equals food type, or food type field dot text, and then food type field dot text is not equal to an empty string. Else show alert, and title is just error, please enter a food type. Return. Alright, guard let average cost equals average cost field dot text. Average cost field dot text is not equal to an empty string. Else show alert, error, please enter an average cost. Return. Guard let latitude equal lat field dot text. Lat field dot text is not equal to an empty string. Else show alert, error, please enter a latitude. Return. And one more, guard let longitude equal long field dot text. Whew, now that we got all those in there, so we've guarded against all these conditions. So now we need to get to the meat of this. So now we can make use of our data service. And we can just say data service dot instance dot add new food truck. Alright, and then name is going to be the name, food type is going to be the food type. Average cost is going to be the average cost. Latitude is going to be the latitude. Longitude is going to be the longitude. And then completion, we have our success completion here again. Alright, so we can check for success here. So we can say if success, we'll just say we saved successfully, we'll print that. And then we can just say self.dismiss view controller. So at this point we were successful. We're just going to print a message out. And then, let's see, this is wrong. This is just name. Yeah. That's just name. Okay. So we print a message out to the term or to the console and then dismiss the view controller. And then we can say else. And then here we can say self.showAlert. And we can say error. And for the message, we can say an error occurred saving the new food truck. And then we can also print a message and just say we didn't save successfully. All right. Why is that giving me an error? That is because we need to convert these. So we need to say right here, we need to pull that out as a double. Like so. And we need to do the same thing with latitude. And longitude. All right. So hopefully that cleared everything up. All right, so let's save it. I don't think I'm leaving anything out. We need to wire everything up. So let's go back here and to our add truck VC scene. We need to wind these or connect all these outlets. So we got food type. All right, lat field, long field, and name field. Okay, and then we've got add button tapped. That's that one. Touch up inside. And we've got cancel button. Touch up inside. Okay. So I think that's all of those wired up. Unless I'm missing something. So when we save this, when we hit add new food truck, as long as we have values in all these, it should save that. And then if it was successful, it should take us back to the main view controller. And it should update the table view to show the new food truck. So let's take it out for a spin and just see what we've got. So we're still logged in. I haven't deleted the app and reinstalled it yet. So if I click the plus, we get our view controller here. So we'll just say and we'll just make up values in here. And that should be a -90. Okay. So now when I hit add new food truck, it should add that and take us back to the main view controller. And it does. And you see here we save successfully. And we get this set status 200. And you see here at the bottom of our table view, we've got Honey's Hams now. So we appear to be working. Our delegate notified, or it fired, and that function ran to reload the table view. So now we have Honey's Hams here. So we're doing good. We're in good shape here. So that takes care of our add new truck view controller. Next thing, we're going to move on and we're going to do our details view controller. And our details view controller is going to actually have a map on there to show you the pin location for each of these food trucks. So you'll be able to tap on one of these table view cells and it'll take you to a details page. So let's go to the next video. We'll knock that out and we'll be right back. So follow me on over there.